Welcome back, everybody, to That's Good Booking. And right now, this is our wrestling segment, and we are going to talk about the biggest news that has shocked the world. He's finally shown up, the man, the legend, the best in the world, CM Punk. I wish we could listen to Cult of Personality right now, but at this point, unfortunately, we do not have the rights to it. But that's the best part about it is go listen to Cult of Personality, go listen to In Living Color, go out there and watch what this man does. I am, for one, absolutely excited. Like I'm a grown man. I cried when I saw him finally step out for the first time in 7 years.
As we all did, man. It's a historical moment of professional wrestling. A guy who said he would never come back to professional wrestling did just that this past week. Not Friday, but the past Friday, and it shocked the world and it put a smile on people's faces. That cried was everybody at home watching that segment where he popped up. We all thought it was going to be his troll would pop up like either MJF or Kenny Omega being like, screw you guys, we don't have CM Punk. But lo and behold, Cult of Personality plays and CM Punk pops in and waterworks and excitement.
Guy here that, don't get me wrong, I was excited to see him. Like when he came out, and I saw at least the energy coming from the crowd, the excitement from all of that. That made me much more excited than I was in the first place, because I was one of the ones that, I watched CM Punk and his whole run and all of that, but I was never a huge fan. And so this was not like a huge, exciting moment for me, because he spent
the last... This is bullshit. No, I'm just kidding.
No, listen. He spent the last 7 years telling us, I'm never coming back to wrestling. I'm coming back to wrestling. Wrestling is garbage. I'm the best that ever was and ever will be. He did so many things to either tell us that he's coming back or tell us he's never coming back. And I just got tired of it, and it made me dull to it. Like I was numb. I was numb to the CM Punk fad as it is, because it's been 7 years. But when he showed up there, the feeling was palpable through the screen. And so
Oh yeah.
With him showing up, especially in AEW, like whether you like it or not, the three of us were AEW marks, whether you like it or not. The fact that he showed up there, I was excited to see what he could do, but I am also one of the ones that is weary on, can he still move?
So, yes, he can. And I know the reason why. He's been training with Malachi Black.
Yeah.
And
I saw the picture too. I saw the picture. Everyone saw the picture.
I do believe he will have the ring rust that we will all get to know and see, like we saw with the SummerSlam Rumble, because he John Cena had ring rust. It was obviously, even though he was doing house shows that were being shown on the social media, but they were not being shown on the networks. Unfortunately, we have lost a 33 1/3 of our partners. So when he comes back, hopefully we will get his opinion on this. But for right now, I absolutely do agree with you in a sense, because here is my major concern with CM Punk. Is he the Hulk Hogan of AEW?
No, see, that's one thing that I don't believe. Like he has even said, look, I've never been a high flyer or anything like that. Don't ever expect anything like that from me.
Oh no,
But
I'm not
what
talking
you
in that
will get
sense.
is technical ability.
I'm not
And
saying
so,
I'm not saying that he's. I'm not talking about his wrestling aspect. I'm
or you
talking
think
about
that he's just going to self-center everything around himself?
and destroy
Mm,
the company with that. Because
mm,
what did it? We don't know yet, and this is what
no.
scares me for what happened. Did Tony Khan overreach? And was CM Punk that overreach? Because we talk about all the other people who are coming, and we're all excited to see what they're capable of because these are going to be former indie wrestlers from promotions that we've seen them and loved them in before they made their way to WWE, and we even
Yeah.
loved them there. Daniel Bryanson, not Bray Wyatt so much, but
Oh,
Adam
he was
Cole.
homegrown WWE.
Yeah, he's second gen homegrown, but and that's a key shocker, and we will discuss about homegrown talent, second gen, and I think he might be one of the first ones to get pulled from the list because
We'll see. But as far as CM Punk goes, like I I feel like Tony Khan is savvy enough business wise to not overpay him and then either undercut somebody else or not pay for somebody else, like a Bray Wyatt or Adam Cole, knowing because he is known, like he's had his thumb on the pulse of wrestling for years now, knowing when people's contracts are coming up, what their relationship with a certain company would be. And so I don't think that he would spend so much on CM Punk that he would break himself on someone like CM Punk or Bray Wyatt or Adam Cole or anybody like that. Granted, he spent a lot of money on John Moxley, but it was well worth it. John Moxley, obviously, right here, like great shirt right here, pro wrestling crate. Thank you very much. He was well worth the money, and him and his family are well off enough and are intelligent enough to not just spend money and just dump it for no reason whatsoever.
100%.
the funny and Steve, I'm sorry to interrupt, and we'll get your opinion in it real quick. What I found funny about John Moxley, and think about it right now, because when he was talking about leaving back when AEW just formed over 2 years ago, WWE offered him $10 million 2 years ago to stay.
10?
10.
I never heard a specific number. I always heard him say a lot of money, but I never heard a specific number.
He said it in a podcast. I think it might have been Talk is Jericho.
Okay.
But I remember the number being very, very extraordinary. Like some ridiculous number. And he said he doesn't need it. He's a very, very simple man. He's got his truck that's paid off. He's got his house. He's got his wife. He's a very, very simple. He doesn't need the money. But what he wanted is what he's got now. And to
Freedom.
think, freedom, yeah, absolutely. And to think that Adam Cole 2 years ago to now, who since Moxley left on NXT is the hottest thing in the last 2 years,
Yeah.
was only offered 1.5 million
I don't know.
to come to the main roster.
For him to be overworked. No, that's what Undertaker gets at his age for one WrestleMania. Steve, what do you think about this?
About CM Punk comeback?
CM Punk, all the releases, the potential gains.
All your opinions about the situation are surrounding CM Punk and Adam. All the news that's going on. What is your opinion? Yeah.
My opinion is this. I'm very upset by it because a lot of the wrestlers, they want to wrestle. They want to put on great matches. And Vince is just being like, I want you just to have you. It's like a kid at a either at a second, just want my mother has
It's mine. It's mine.
A kid at a toy store wanting a toy that someone else has and plays with it for maybe 2 or 3 times, puts it on the shelf, and basically like, I don't want to play with you anymore. And
1,000%.
that's what basically he's doing with all the releases. Like he released Braun Strowman, a guy who drew pretty much a lot of money for the company. A strong man took out a bunch of people. Bray Wyatt, one of the creative mind of the Wyatt family, and the Fiend.
Oh yeah,
one of the hottest things that WWE had, and they threw him away.
I own every single version of something from the Wyatt family. I have a Braun Strowman "Get These Hands." I think that was probably one of his best lines that he ever had. I have a Fiend chainsaw, the Scooby-Doo chainsaw T-shirt. I have a Brody Lee Dark Order, and then I have an Eric Rowan Bludgeon Brothers. I was fans of all 4 of them, and now rest in peace, Brody. But those 4 guys, I would have fantasy booking. Bring Brody back to life for 24 hours for me. Give me the Wyatt. Gross. Yeah, but give me the Wyatt family versus Undisputed Era.
Oh, it'd be a beautiful match. 2 completely different styles, not only character-wise, but actual ability-wise, all of that good stuff. That'd be amazing. But we have coming up this weekend that this is being released, we have All Out, where we can get some new fantasy booking, because there's going to be some special guests, new appearances, all of that. Let's start out with Moxley. Right here, right on my shirt. We got Mox and Kojima in a match.
Let's open the door. AEW. We're throwing this door so wide open. It's like opening a garage. It's a garage door now. It's not a small door, this forbidden door. This door is like the gates to heaven, because we are getting the most amazing matches now.
Oh yeah.
This it's forget about it at the end of this now, because like what we saw, and I'm going to sidebar this real fast for 30 seconds, and then I'll explain why we're doing this. We watched over a week ago in AAA Omega versus Andrade, and who came out with Andrade? Woo! Rick fucking Flair. This door is so fucking open, and now we're getting the social media is blowing up. Now we got Moxley versus.
Did you also mention the sorry to interrupt you? That mentioned the AAA match. Did you also hear Omega go, someone's gonna get that man's gonna get a letter on his door, and it's not gonna be from me.
And speaking of Ric Flair, I got woken up this morning. My wife woke me up so gently with a DVD of Ric Flair. Said, "Here you go, honey. Here's a Ric Flair DVD for you." It's like, God, I knew I'd be a reason.
So what is your prediction on the Moxley match? Steve, you can go first.
Yeah, Steve, I want to hear this.
My prediction is that Mox is going to go over. I don't know, like, I'm a Moxley fan, so I don't really know of his opponent. I don't know his last name. But I know he's a big star in New Japan, and I saw someone rumored that he was going to face Tanahashi at All Out for the U.S. title again. But I guess that's Archer. My mistake. But I think that's going to be a hell of a good match. Both competitors, I've seen both their work, and they are pro wrestling gods.
Do we know if this is going to be...
Mox versus Tanahashi needs to be in New Japan. It has to be. That's too big of a match. it has to be in New Japan because New Japan can't give all of their people over to AEW on AEW shows. They shouldn't, at least.
Well, they have strong style here in the States, right?
Well, yeah.
So here's my question. Do you think this will be a New Japan style match?
Yes.
I mean, I think that Mox will accommodate that 100%. And it's not going to be some sort of high flying, somewhat lucha style. It's definitely going to be more strong style, especially with someone like Mox, who realistically, when you look down to it, he is more of a strong style wrestler. I think that Mox is going to win. Mox is going to win via pinfall. I'm going to say within 9 to 11 minutes. That's when
I agree.
9 to 11
I agree
minutes.
100%. I agree 100% because they have to push the storyline with New Japan. So and that's the only reason why we know he's probably going to get over on it, because a lot of stuff that we love about AEW and New Japan is how they push a storyline. And with that being said, Mox gets over. K-pop has our list, so K-pop's what's next on our list of matches.
Let's talk Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander for the women's AEW title.
My prediction is that it's going to be a hell of a good match. Both competitors, both females, are just top tier women's wrestlers, and I think Britt's going to win, but there's going to be a catch at the end. There's going to be the person that she brought in. I forgot
Jamie Hayter.
Jamie Hayter is going to be out with her. Is going to help her win the match, and at the end of the match, celebrating, raising her hand, classic heel move, clothesline, picks the title, holds it up, and so there's going to be a 4 gear. That's my prediction.
So do you believe that? Okay, I kind of agree and disagree at the same time, and this is my reason why. Don't you think that's a little too soon for Britt?
For what?
To be like, not defend it, but to lose it. Because if one thing we have noticed,
no, I don't think that she's going to lose it.
But Jamie Hayter is actually a really hot thing. I see a different twist. I see something forming. Britt's got all the cards. Funny that it's a poker reference. But 2 people just got their visas renewed. And I think they're going to make that visit to AEW.
Oh.
Iconics.
Oh.
Inspiration. Their visas just got accepted. And I think Britt Baker is building a female stable. Now, what we have noticed in AEW, most stables comprise of 5 people. She's got 3. She needs 2 more.
Okay. I don't like that. What I like more is her, Britt and Hayter, with the companionship, managerial aspect of Rebel against the Iconics or whatever they're going to go by. I like that idea more than the Iconics, whatever, joining up with her, because 2 stables just creates problems. It creates too quick of storylines or too short of storylines. It doesn't work too well. I do think that Britt is going to walk away champion. I feel like there's going to be at least a couple of close calls with Statlander because I love her. She's great. She's one of the best females in AEW, alongside Cheetah and Britt Baker. But
what about Britt, the best friends heel turn?
No. They are so over as faces. I don't want a heel. Granted, they might do it, but I don't think they'll, because Orange Cassidy himself being, realistically a part of the best friends. Like he's not the best friends, but he's with the best friends. I think that with them, he is so over as a face, as the lovable guy, that it will not happen. I don't want it to happen. I would hate that, honestly. So, all right. So we have our predictions for that. Now we've got steel cage match. Young Bucks, Lucha Bros for the AEW tag titles. Joe, what do you think?
Isn't this some poetry? Let's go back to the beginning. AAA tag. Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks. And that match was the first glimpse that we saw of how crazy AEW can get. And now the accumulation is the reverse. The Young Bucks hold the title again against Lucha Bros. But with this time, someone's going to help the Lucha Bros. And it's not the Death Triangle. It's Andrade.
Well, think about the midpoint too. Was that ladder match they had at Fyter Fest? Was that the one with the ladder match?
Yeah, where the Lucha Bros won.
Yeah, and this match here in a steel cage.
The potential's worse.
I hope that there is no interference. I truly do. I hope there's no interference. I hope it's just those four in this cage beating the shit out of each other, because the four of them put on some of the greatest matches that you will see. And some of the most dangerous spots too. Like it's not just your ordinary, oh, hey, this guy hit a Canadian destroyer off of the apron. No, it's Canadian destroyer off of a ladder, through a table, through another ladder. It's ridiculous. I think it's going to be a great match. I'm saying that Young Bucks come out victorious.
Go ahead, Steve. I see your face.
I say I can see it going either way for me. Is that I love both tag teams. I have a feeling there's going to be a Canadian destroyer, as KPOP said, in this match.
Oh yeah,
on top of the cage.
Now, do we know if the cage is enclosed and if going out and over, or is it not going to be enclosed?
I don't know. That's one.
I mean,
we've seen AEW steel cage, and that thing is massive. That thing is massive. Like, it's not like the other steel cages other companies use. It's just massive. But I do
depends on
Canadian
if they do Cody style, Cody and Wardlow, or if they do Pinnacle and Inner Circle. It depends, because they haven't. I don't think that they specified. I'm assuming steel cage is open top.
From the Cody match. From the Cody match.
Okay, so open top.
Yeah. Okay.
So none on the top, but maybe off the top of the cage. Who knows?
It's gonna get crazy, and we know that.
It's gonna be nuts. Joe, do you got any predictions on that?
I have the Lucha Bros going over. I think it's the reign of the Elite is going to start faltering to push the storyline at the end for Omega. Omega being the last of the Elites who still hold a title.
So I see your guys' point. Steve is either way. You are Lucha Bros go over, but my only problem is that I feel like this is a thought of Kenny losing the Impact title and the TNA, whatever, the actually not recognized title. But I don't think that this is the downfall of the Elite. I think that it's a beginning, but they book long enough out that
Oh,
I don't think that the Young Bucks are going to take this L. I think that it's going to seem close and it's going to be a long match. I mean, this is going to be at least a 25-minute match, I would think. But I don't think that, of all people, the Lucha Bros are. Granted, I love the Lucha Bros, but I don't think that they're going to be the ones to go over. I think that as far as tag teams, the people that'll take the titles from the Young Bucks at some point down the line are either going to be the Best Friends or it's going to be Proud and Powerful. I know that seems like.
See, I see Pride and Powerful taking them off the Lucha Bros. See, that's where I was going to go with it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That would be a fair statement. Okay, if it's not them, then I mean, the Best Friends, like they are the most over faces in the company, realistically, especially in tag team. They see, or Jurassic Express, which I was really hoping for, just because I love them. They're great. But I can see it going either way. But at the end of the day, Young Bucks, they're taking the W.
Okay. So let's talk about another person we love. Jericho. Jericho MJF.
3.
MJF gets the dub.
I don't see it that way. I don't think Jericho's done. I think he's got a couple good matches in him left, and then he'll retire. Because I know that fall he's going on tour soon, very, very soon. But I have a feeling that Jericho isn't done yet. I feel like this is going to be the rubber match where Jericho finally gets his revenge on MJF.
I see where you're coming from, and I will counter you with this is the end of Le Champion, but not the end of Jericho.
Yeah.
See,
so the Painmaker can
that's
fight.
fair. Yeah. Or the Painmaker, like you're saying, like he has so many different personas. He was so vague in his statement of that, like the end of Le Champion. Like he's never going to go for a championship again. That'd be fair. But I thought in the beginning of these labors of Jericho that Jericho was going to take the L in the end. That was my thought. But then they had
I got reeled in. I'm sorry, I got reeled in. I thought Jericho was going to go over on the 5th labor.
No,
I got reeled in.
I did not think that he was going to go over on the 5th labor. I thought that he was going to lose, but I thought that the 5th labor was going to be at all out, and that was going to be his retirement match. So if he loses in this one, I feel like on All Out, if he loses, that will be kind of lackluster. Only because he had such a historic career, and then to lose to MJF twice in a row, right there, boom, boom. I just feel like it wouldn't work. That'd be like CM Punk going against Darby Allin and CM Punk losing. It just wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make any sense.
Before we get to that match, do we all agree Omega's going to win?
I mean, of course.
Okay.
Christian Cage.
Like we all agree with that. I know we can't just glaze over the AEW world title, but it's kind of like
seems the most obvious.
Yeah, and the CM Punk one, Darby one, definitely has a lot of controversy behind it because you can start so many good story angles with what could happen with the outcome of that match. So
yeah,
I got one.
Go ahead, Steve.
Darby Allin versus Punk match. Punk wins. Either Darby turns heel, or lights go out, like I always do. Kenta shows up. Kenta from New Japan, and picks him up.
That would be fucking insane.
GTS, and it goes, I'm the true owner of the GTS move, and it leads to them at like either an AEW event or a New Japan event, and it opens.
I like your thinking.
I like that one. Or it could either lead away to another one where Darby turns on Sting and says, "You're supposed to help me with this," and then beats him up, kind of thing.
I think something that might be more logical is Sting telling Darby, "Hey, you go hit this motherfucker right here with a bat right now, and you get that pin." And he does the heel turn right then to get the win. That would make sense, at least.
I kind of agree with both of them, and I think what happens is actually Darby gets so frustrated with Punk that he goes for the bat, and Sting stops him, and that's where Punk beats Darby, and then Darby gets frustrated with Sting, and that's when he heel turns on Sting. And then at your next pay-per-view, you get Sting Darby. And because they've been working together so and that's the whole point. But I love the best of the GTS. Like, and then again, that open door is a match that nobody wants or nobody knew they wanted to see, but we need to see because Kenta is great. It's Bullet Club coming back. There's been rumors of an invasion. So that could potentially lead to
You've already had one Bullet Club member show up. Two. Yeah, you had Jay White, right?
No, Jay White was in Impact.
No, not Jay White. Yeah, in Impact.
Jay White was in Impact, but we have seen Kenta, and we had Tamatonga's brother.
For the U.S. title.
Right. And Adam Cole.
You think he's going to show up at All Out? I think he's going to show up at All Out.
If he shows up at All Out, it's. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but how does he get involved?
He'll show up for a Dynamite or a Rampage.
I see him showing up at All Out. Yeah, but I see him showing up at All Out, but I don't know how he shows up. Like, who does he pick a fight with?
Beats up with the Bucks, because you remember from back in the Ring of Honor, he got kicked out from.
That's okay. Man Upstairs gave me two thought processes. I like his first one, but the second one,
I don't like it.
I like it. No, but I like the second one I just came up with. He's the reason the Bucks win.
I don't like that.
Super
Bucks lose, I would understand.
Super kick party. No, but Bucks. He's the one. He's the one who Panama Sunrises off the top of the fucking steel cage.